early preseason trip to the dentist, or what?
Yeah, just stick to the mouth, but that's to be expected. So it's all right.
Who was the culprit?
I don't know. I just 2-on-2 in front. That's what happened. So it's all right.
Talk to us about your summer, particularly World Championships. What did you learn from that experience that you can take forward into Canucks camp?
I mean, I've talked enough about it, but obviously winning's an addicting feeling. So, I mean, I learned, playing in as big as a game as you can outside of the NHL playoffs, a must-win situation. So, just the feel of it, learning how to win, and hopefully we can bring some of that back. But it's obviously a different tournament than playing 82 games and getting into the playoffs.
What have you seen from the young guys this year on your team so far?
Well, only our group. I don't know. Like we got Lecky, a couple of the young D, but no, guys look good. I thought in the summer skates, guys look good. Like I said, I haven't seen this group at all. I think they probably have a few more young guys, but they, energy. Nice to meet them. Nice to hang out at the hotel a little bit, and just the scrimmage. You'll get to see them more.
You killed some penalties at the World Championships, and Adam said yesterday it might be using you in that fashion this season. Would you welcome those extra responsibilities?
Well, I did last year,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's nothing new.
But up the lineup now with a couple guys gone like this.
Obviously, what was I? Who was I with last year? I can't remember now. But yikes. But obviously I did it last year, so it's nothing new. Obviously, just keep getting reps, keep getting better. Like I said, got to do it this summer, and important games, and pretty high stress role. So yeah, but I enjoy it, and hopefully I just keep getting better at it.
Not every team travels for training camp. Do you guys enjoy coming out to Penticton?
Yeah. Well, it's not too far, but yeah, it's nice obviously to get away with the guys. If you're at home, you're going back and spend time with your family, which is great. But during training camp, it's easier to bond, get dinners with the guys. It's like being on the road, so it's kind of fast tracking team bonding and getting together early.
The unusual part of this season is the Olympic break. How do you approach potentially being part of that U.S. Olympic team and still managing?
So far away. Just worrying about having a good day at camp tomorrow. I was very fortunate to be invited to that camp. The season's condensed because of it. So yeah, I've made some additions to my inner circle. Trying to have some people help me with nutrition, strength, mental stuff. So I understand how grueling the season's going to be. So you got to try to get ahead of it. But that's out of my control. I just want to play well for Vancouver. If you're in the hunt for that, your team's probably playing really well, and you're playing well, so it's good for us.
Well, how was your summer of training?
It was good, yeah. I began at the beginning of the May, and I had 4 good months of training and on and off the ice, and yeah, it was very good, and I'm ready for this camp.
What do you think of the opportunity here for you in the second line center role?
Yeah, I'm not thinking too much about it. I just doing the things what I'm doing all the time, just coming to the rink with smile on my face, coming early, work hard off the ice, coming on the ice, work on my game, and yeah, I'm not doing anything different from my previous years. I just want to do the best, what I can do best, and helping the team as much as I can. And yeah, I just gonna work hard, and yeah, I know what's ahead of me, and I'm working for that.
Obviously, you always do have to talk about concussions, unfortunately, but when you've had them and you go back, is it impossible not to have that in your mind when you're in traffic or playing, or how do you try not to think about that?
I'm not thinking about it at all, to be honest, because yeah, it says concussions, but yeah, it's something what I cannot even explain to my closest people what's going on sometimes. So it's everybody sees that I'm missing the games, and of course I understand all the people who are worried about that, but I know my body, I know my head the most, and what's going on. How I said, not even some of my closest people knows what's going on. So I'm not thinking about all of this, and I'm just focusing on the game. And yeah, I focus and working with all the people around how to stay on the ice as much as I can and play a full season finally.
Filip, we don't know who your line mates will be come first regular season game, but you've had a chance to skate with Evander Kane the last 2 days here. What have you seen of his game?
Yeah, he's a very experienced player, and he's got a lot of seasons behind him in NHL. And yeah, we had a good couple practices together, and we're lucky as well. We communicate a lot on the ice about all the things what's going on, and yeah, I think it's working so far, and we have to build that chemistry. How you said, we don't know who we're gonna play with in the season, but it's changing a lot as well. So I think every time who I play with, I just need to communicate with them, and that's it. It's everything else is on coaches how they make the lineup.
What do you see that he can add to this team as a whole, as a player?
I said he's an experienced player, so he can bring that to the team. He can play physical game. He can score goals, and yeah, I think that's the player what every team needs, and I think we are very happy that we have him here.
He was kind of the bigger off-season acquisition for this team, but Patrick and Jim have talked about how they brought you in the middle of last season. They brought Marcus Pettersson in. What do you think you can show over the course of a full season with the Canucks?
I don't know. We will see what's gonna happen. But how I said, I just gonna come to the ring every day, work hard, and hopefully I will stay healthy, because when I'm healthy, I know what I can do and where I can go in the future. So yeah, I just want to stay healthy and keep working on my game.
What about the 15 games you got in after the trade? I mean, unfortunate end of the season, but were you happy with the way you performed? Do you think the Canucks saw sort of the things that you were able to bring to this group?
I had 4 games after I was traded before the Four Nations break. Was probably the best hockey I played here, because I had clear head. I was not thinking about anything. And then after the break, of course, we started to talking with coaches more about system, and it was getting to my head a little more that I changed the place after 7.5 years. So it make my not life, but it make my head full of thoughts which I didn't want to have. So my game, I think, dropped a little bit, and yeah, I was trying to go through that. Unfortunately, then the injury happened. But yeah, I think now I'm with a clear head again. Of course, I'm happy what was in the past and where I was before. But now I'm very excited for being here, and I can't wait for this season.
And now another head coach. Is that difficult? I mean, so many, they all have their own thoughts and their own ways that they want to play the game. Like, is it tough to have that many coaches in a short span?
It's not that bad. I think I know Fudi from last year. Of course, when he was assistant coach, it's different. He's got more responsibilities now, but he's still the same person. So he was talking to me last year a lot, and he's talking to me this year a lot as well. So it's nice to have a chat like that, and the system. That's why we have the training camp, and that's why we have the long regular season as well. That's why we can come to the ring every day, work on the things, the certain things what we need, and that's why we have videos and meetings as well. So we will see, but so far and after first 2 days, it's going in a good direction, and I think, at least when I speak for myself, I'm very happy so far.
Just had another interview that you wanted to be a better goal scorer
Yeah.
going forward. I wonder if you can expand on that, what you worked on in the offseason to accomplish that.
Of course, yeah, I had every season I have a lot of chances, and yeah, it's not showing up at the sheets that much yet. So I was working a lot on the breakaways. I was working on a shot and on around the net for rebound, for tips, and yeah, it's. I have to get to the dirty areas as well to get the dirty goals, and those are as important as beautiful goals when you skate through the five players. So it counts as much as these goals. So yeah, I gotta get there, and if I will score, I will help the team a lot as well to win the game. So yeah, I need to focus on that, and yeah, we will see.
Filip, this year, I know it's a little bit far, but Olympics are this year. If you are on that team, what type of preparation do you have to do, like during the off season or going into the training to play, potentially 10 extra games even before playoffs start?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think about Olympics at all. For myself, it's too far, and yeah, with the history where I learned that you cannot plan everything or you cannot plan anything in your life, because one day I can come to the ring and something can happen. So, or off the ice can happen something as well. So, I learned to never plan things ahead. So, I'm just at the training camp right now in Penticton, and I know it sounds like cliche, but that's how I learned to live the life, and that's where I am right now.
Do you feel the Canucks are counting on you to be a producer, second line center, that you got to put up those, you have to produce? Do you feel that there's some expectation there from them towards you that you got to be a producer?
I think you gotta ask them. I don't know. I just I know how I know how I can play and what I can do. So that's only my thought, and I'm not putting pressure on myself at all. I'm just, I'm with a clear head. I'm coming to the rink every day with a smile and working on my game every day.
Day 2 of camp as we continue things on here in Penticton, but what's just the vibe, the energy level with this team so far?
Well, we've been very happy with it, especially today. A lot of pace drills, asking the guys to skate and get up and down the sheet, and everybody's challenged each other and skated at a very high pace. So we're happy with the energy and compete so far.
Is Pedersen, Besser, and DeBrusk? I know it's day 2. You got a long way to go. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously you got to temper your excitement on day 2 of training camp, but they looked very good today. They scored a bunch of goals, and we did some drills in the second session of practice that really was a bit of an advantage for the forwards, and those guys definitely took that, and they looked very, very good out there today.
Long term, what do you see in them that you hope that trio will work together? What do you like about the combination?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot to like with those three guys that have been very good players in the NHL for a long time, but also in training camp we're looking at different line combinations. So we're looking at that right now, and they've been good through the first 2 days, and they'll get a chance to play with different players here as we move forward as well.
How much do you need from Philip Chytil this year as a contributor, second line center? Obviously had some before, but how much do you need from this guy?
Yeah, he's going to have to be good for us. There's no question, but that's true for a lot of our centers. That we're going to ask a lot of that group, and again, we're trying to really put in things here to him and to others to make sure that puts them in the best situation so that they can do the roles we're going to ask them to do this season.
He said he plays better when his head's not too filled with systems and having to think too much, but probably a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
How do you work with a guy not to overload him? He's so skilled, right? How do you let him be free but control everything?
Well, I think you'll see in this training camp we've also done quite a few drills where we've slowed things down to try to teach, and that's what we're trying to do here in training camp. Really, we try to hit the ground running, teach the system. So for a player like that, get those locked in here in these first few days, and then to your point, then he can just go out and play with his instincts.
Sticking with that line, what have you seen of Evander Kane over the past couple days?
Yeah, he's been good. He's come in and he's really led for us. We really liked him today, and there were some details we were asking out of the players in certain drills, and he really did those details. So we've been very happy with everything about his game and his attitude, and his compete is always so high that he's got that big body. So he's pushing some guys around today, which is something we want to see here in training camp.
Speaking of, you just said he led a lot today. What can adding a guy who's been to Game 7, the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row, what kind of leadership can that add to your team, that experience?
Yeah, there's no question. That's that's something that you only gain from being there, and he's been there 2 years in a row now. So that's huge for our group, and especially for our young guys to see someone, as I mentioned, the compete that he showed today in the second day of training camp. You got to carry that on through the entire season, and you only realize that once you go through it, like he has.
And what about you? What have the last few days been like for you as new assistant coach at this team?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, as a coaching staff, we're trying to find our rhythm. We've never worked together before, and we felt good about that. But for myself, it's obviously just a huge honor to work for the Canucks and to work for Adam, and yeah, I've been happy with it so far.
Adam was saying that you were showing some pace out there yesterday.
I was trying, but I never had much pace when I played, so I'll keep trying to work on that.
For so many of these guys, you know, it's training camp, it's just trying to find the rhythm and the routine again. But for Braden Coots, it's the first time through this. I mean, have you had a chance to sort of keep an eye on him? What have you seen, and how impressive was he?
You know, I had a chance to talk to him during one of the drills today, and he was just excited, you know, as you'd expect. But he also stood out today. He had a really good day and getting on pucks, and he's obviously smart and creative in some of the drills. So he's not just out here excited to be here. He's here to make an impression, and he's done that through the first 2 days.
It felt like practice today, there was a lot of physicality, a lot more than yesterday, obviously. So when you see those net front battles or even just along the board battles, what does that tell you when players are that physical on day 2?
Well, that's obviously good, and we're pushing them to do that, and that shows that they're, one, committed to do it, to what we're asking them to do, and two, that they came ready to do that. So a really good sign for us.
Aside from that experience that Evander brings, coming off a couple deep playoff runs, what are you hoping you can bring to this group in particular, especially in a top 6 role?
Yeah, well, obviously he's got a physicality to his game that we feel can definitely help our team, and will help any team, and so that's part of it. But you know, he can definitely play a role for us in that leadership element, and he brings a lot to our team that we feel is just going to help us. And again, we really like that he brings that attitude that he's brought here, and he can bring that swagger to our team too, that every team needs. If you want to be a good team, you got to have an edge to you, you got to have a belief to you, and we think he can really help us with that.
From a coaching standpoint, like, how much more do you give the guys on day 2 than day 1? Day 1 seemed like you were really trying to set a baseline. Mm-hmm. Like, how much more do you throw at the group on day 2?
Yeah, we threw a bit more systems-wise, but tried to not do too much either. You know, we want to make sure that our certain big zones and the structure in those zones. Today we did a lot of neutral zones, so we feel like we got to start integrating some of those systems into it, because we don't have all that many practices, obviously, before we play preseason, and even before the start of the season, there's only so many. So we got to touch on certain things. So as we move forward here, we'll continue to try to build on those systems so that everybody's on the same page as soon as we can.
And Adam had said yesterday he was toying with the idea of doing some special teams work. Are you guys any further ahead? Like, do you think you'll do any of that here in camp?
We're going to meet his coaching staff now and kind of get into that. We haven't had a chance to get into that today.